with my real estate dojo, and in the next few minutes I'm going to talk to you guys about 9 ways you could fund your real estate deal without getting into debt, but more importantly using creative ideas that I use in my own business without going to the traditional ways that most people talk about. I'll even talk about the traditional ways as well. So let's get started. One of the myths is that when I owned a business and I want to get into real estate investing, or when I was in college, I thought you needed money to get into real estate investing, or you need good credit to get into real estate investing. So some of you are probably thinking the same thing, like you're new and you have a business and you make money, you have a roofing business, you have a credit business, whatever it is, you're making money, and you're thinking, well, I probably need more money, or I probably need more credit to get into it because I don't have $200K cash or $500K cash or $1 million cash, what have you, okay? So I want to stop and let you know that you can become a real estate investor without the money, dude, okay? Without the credit. And if you use some of these 9 ways that I'm going to be talking about, you're going to be able to fund your deals and make money. Now, there's going to be a lot of new people that they're going to come here, and they told me that they want me to kind of break it down from the beginning. So I'll kind of do that really quick and then get into the 9 deals because I want to really emphasize on the funding part, okay? So I have broken down real estate investing. I zoomed it out, okay? Took a very complicated idea and made it very, very simple for you guys to understand. And I always say real estate investing is basically 3 propellers, okay? Or 3 steps, whatever you want to call it. Okay, the first one is called lead generation. The second one is called conversion. And the third one is called exit strategy. All right? So basically real estate investing, just for you guys that are new, just understand that basically it's 3 steps. Just to zoom it out, make a very complex business in very simple steps. We have lead generation, we have conversion, and we have exit strategy. And today we're going to be talking about the exit strategy and how to fund the deal. Okay, so we're going to be talking about this idea. I've done a lot of videos about this. I've done a lot of videos about this. Okay. Now, the other thing I want you to understand in this business is that real estate investing is like riding a bicycle. Okay. So what do I mean? Nice.
Other way around.
Right. So real estate investing is like riding a bicycle. For the new people, and I want you to understand that. So you basically have a bicycle here, and you have 2 tires, which is your sellers and your buyers. And today we're going to be talking about the buyers, which is your exit strategy, okay, which is the 3rd step. In the 1, 2, 3, we have 1, 2, 3, and that was lead gen, conversion, exit. And today we're going to be talking about the back step. And to quickly demonstrate, the front tire of the bicycle is, this is you, and you're trying to go here to get a deal. So that's what the seller happens. And there's multiple steps to go here, and you're pedaling your bicycle this way. Once you get the deal under contract, you're secured. I'm going to talk about it in my other videos that I've already talked about, because today we're going to be talking about this. Once you get the deal secured, then you have to focus on the wheel number 2, which is the buyers. And again, it's the same exact way. This is you, and you got to walk this way. This time, instead of getting a deal, you're actually going to get money, okay? Because the real estate business is a 2-step process. That's why we have a bicycle analogy. You got your front, which is the sellers. You got your back, which is your exit strategy, or your buyers, or whatever you're going to do with it, okay? So there's going to be like 3 steps. Not 3 steps. There's going to be multiple steps to go from here to the deal, and this is the buyer section, okay? Very crucial you guys understand that. Now, I took the 3 steps and I broke it down to the bicycle, and then if you zoom in, you can zoom into each one of these, and then there'll be a bunch of little steps in here, okay? Now tonight, what we're gonna be talking about is 9 ways to fund real estate, okay? And some of you guys have asked me, well, Mike, you guys instant message me or YouTube message me, what have you. And you said, because you guys are new, and I totally understand, there's no problem with that. You said, well, how can you make money in real estate, okay? So before I talk about the funding, I want to talk about quickly some ways you can make money. Real estate, you can make money so many different ways, okay? I'm just going to talk about just a couple of it, but just understand that every idea breaks down further, okay? What do I mean? For example, when I say buy and hold, all right, when I say buy and hold, many of us are only thinking about one idea, like a lease. Like, just like leasing, you're becoming a landlord. But the truth of the fact, there's just multiple buy and hold strategies, okay? The next one you can buy and hold is Airbnb. Okay? This is a buy and hold strategy, okay? You're not leasing to people that are there every day, every month, but this is a different type, and you actually make a lot more money than this, okay? Than number one, okay? Another buy and hold strategy is where you do owner financing, and then you create a note, and then you become like a bank. You get interest on that note production, okay? So note, okay? Note creation, all right? So I could even go on, Other types of buy and hold is, where you don't buy but you hold, is you could do what's called like master leases and sublease. Okay? See, this is kind of like a situation where you don't own the property, you don't have to deal with the toilets, you don't have to deal with cleaning the stuff, the AC breaking, but you still control the property and you get the monthly cash flow from it, okay? And then I mean, I could go on, there's like, lease options and so on, okay? So when somebody says buy and hold, please understand that there's a variety of different types of buy and hold in this structure. It's just not one type. The other one is for example, what I call pushing paper. And other people call this wholesaling. So you can make money in wholesaling, and what that is, that you're basically like a middleman. What you do is, this is you, all right, and you start marketing to a bunch of people, right, and they start calling you, the ones that are motivated. And then once you get the deal, which is just a piece of paper, you put the deal on the contract, okay, with just a piece of paper, you can do that with just $1. You don't really need to have any money tied up, no escrow, I mean, just $1, dude, okay? And then you get this little piece of paper, which I call the contract, and then you push it to another cash buyer or end buyer. And you make money, okay? I mean, how much money do you make? You can make anywhere from like $1,500 to $20,000, $25,000. Depends, what kind of deal it is, how much meat is on the bone. Commercial, you make more, okay? And for example, what happens is some of these guys call you and you put it under contract for $100, right? And the property's worth $150, okay? And you sell it to this, for example, to this cash buyer for, $103, okay? And the difference between the 100 and this, you closed at 3, and you get that. So that's wholesaling, okay, guys. And then there's what's called like fix and flips, and you guys are very familiar with that because you see it on TV all the time, where they buy a house and they improve it and they sell it, or they buy a house, they total it and they sell it, or they buy an apartment complex, they fix it or whatever. So that's fix and flip. So there's a lot of different ways to make money in real estate, and I get into it in my book. A lot of different ways besides just being a realtor and investor, but I'm not going to get into it. So if you don't have my book, guys, go ahead and get it right now. The first deal kit is going to help you from going from here to here on both the bicycle has, okay? And right now we're having it for 47 bucks, guys, okay? The link should be below. Now that we talked about the quick overview of what real estate is, okay? And I'm not gonna sell you a dream why real estate is so hot and how it's made so many people millionaires and how most of the wealth is there. There's passive income and there's big tax benefits and there's leverage. And I'm not gonna talk about all the other the dream. I think you should already have the dream. You just want the information to implement it, okay? So now what we're gonna talk about right now is 9 funding methods. Okay? Well, I can't spell, guys, but it doesn't matter. The thing is, you gotta start where you stand, alright? So 9 fundings. Alright. The very first way that I like to fund properties, okay, is what I call owner financing. Alright? So number 1 is owner financing. Alright guys, owner financing, now most of you are thinking, well man, they gotta own their house free and clear. Most people don't have their house owned free and clear, and that's where the myth comes in. Trust me, I was in your shoes, I made the same exact mistakes, okay? So with owner financing, remember there's 2 types of owner financing, if I could just zoom out, guys, okay? You have the ones that have their house free and clear, right? Which is a very small percentage of people, somewhere about like 30 to 33% of the population. Then you have the ones that have what I call mortgages or loans. So they have a loan. They don't own it free and clear. So there's only 2 types of owner financing, okay? Now, if they own it free and clear, we can do owner financing, and I'm sure you already know. But I'm sure most of you guys didn't know that if somebody has a mortgage on their home, they're making monthly payments, you can still buy this house, a technique called subject to or a wrap, where you just take over their house payments. It's very, very simple, guys. You just step into the seller's shoes and buy it and get the deed in your name, and you start making the payments. This is one of my favorite ways to buy houses. That's why I call it number 1. Okay. Now, I don't like for you guys to get in debt. I don't like myself to get in debt. I think in America, the grass is so green. You can make so much money so many different ways if you just educate yourself and you use creativity. So I don't want you guys to get in debt. So I use the very first ones, stuff not like hard money lenders, etc. that other people talk about, which I'll talk about down the line, but I want to give you the meats and potatoes first. So if a seller you talk to, they have a mortgage on their home, you can still do owner financing. If the seller you talk to, they have a mortgage in their home and their house is upside down, which means that their house has negative equity. What does that mean? The house value is worth 100 and the guys owe 110. You can still make money off a deal like this, even if it has negative equity, dude. Alright? You can still make money off this, and we'll talk about it in my book down the line, but you can still make money off this. Now, you're not going to make as much money as buying a house 60 cents, 50 cents on a dollar, 30 cents, but you can still make money with negative equity. This is why owner financing is so powerful. You can use owner financing, okay, and most people don't realize this. Owner financing, I'm going to just call it O, owner F, can be used for a variety of stuff, okay? You can be using for fix and flip. Okay, many people don't know this, that you can buy this stuff and do a fix and flip, okay? So you talk to a seller that has a C type of building, okay? There's like different types. There's type A, type B, type C. So usually the fix and flips are going to be C types of buildings. You can find an owner that has a C type of buildings, needs a lot of repairs, and you can have them owner financing to you, okay? You can have them, where they give you the deed, you do the repairs, you don't give them any money till the closing happens, okay? You could have them, go half and half with you into the deal. What I call the American dream, where you can have the guy, he's not willing to sell it to you at 50 cents on a dollar or 40 cents on a dollar, whatever it is, but you say, you know what, man, why don't we do the American dream? Why don't I let you go into the property with me? You DB the property, I'll fucking rehab it, I'll put the money into it, I'll bring the contract in there, I have my team to turn around, resell it, and then whatever money we make, I'm gonna give you, subtract my initial rehab costs, subtract my closing costs, then I'm going to pay you for whatever your debt is, and whatever the profits are, we'll split it 50-50, 40-40. So you get people to wanting to do owner financing for you because you create a win-win situation. Now, nobody's going to give you owner financing where you get all the fucking money and you make all the riches and you steal their life savings. Dude, that doesn't sound cool, right? So you got to create an incentive for them to want to do that. And I get into my negotiation book on my website, how to do that in my offer letter called the Terminator Offer Letter. Now, a lot of you guys are saying, well, Mike, nobody wants to do owner financing. Nobody wants to do owner financing. Or you guys or ladies tell me, hey, well, the seller says they don't want to do owner financing, right? Well, no shit. No one wants to do owner financing up front unless you make it lucrative, right? You make it somehow benefiting to them, right? So that's first thing. But most of you don't even get to that point. Most of you are not even giving fucking offers via owner financing. So how can they accept it? What do I mean? If you never go to the gym, there's never a chance for you to lose weight or build muscle, right? So if you go there, there's more likely probability of you reaching your goals than some guy that's, at the bar at 5 o'clock, happy hour. Does that make sense, guys? So the very first thing to do is start giving offers via owner financing. And that's what most of you guys don't do, okay? So how can you get a deal if you never put the offers in? Now you can't say, oh, Mr. Seller, do you want this? That fucking seller doesn't know what the fuck you want, okay? Most of us don't know what the fuck you want, okay? That's the truth, dude. How do I know? If you go to fucking Whole Foods, there's a water section. People come up there, and the more choices there is, they don't know what to do. So it's good to give them offers, but not too many choices, but give them okay, you want cash? And I go into it, my Terminator offer. I don't want to get into it, guys. But if you haven't got any owner financing because you're not giving the offers, if you want to learn how to do it, go to my website. There's 2 products you need, which is my no fluff negotiation and then my terminated offer. You'll see exactly the offer letter that I use that's very creative, guys, that will help the seller convince himself without you convincing him, without you pulling them or pushing them. You don't do none of that. You just give it to him and you make it, the owner financing, package it up so nice that they want to go with that. They see the benefit of that without you pushing a gun to their head or trying to some kind of sleazy sales pitch or sleazy sales psychology bullshit. You don't do none of that, dude. You just be honest with them, okay? And let them know, hey, if you go this route, you're going to get more benefits. So owner financing, you can do fix and flips, okay? You can do wholesaling. Guys, all day long you can sell wholesaling owner financing. Who can you sell it to? You can sell it to investors. Man, I'll buy subject to deals all day long, dude. Bring me those deals. I don't care what state it is. Bring it to me, okay? Now, I have some criteria that I get into my book, but I'm not going to get into here, but all day long. So there's a lot of other investors that will. Some will not because, they're fix and flippers. They're not the buy and hold guys, right? So you could wholesale a subject to. So you market, put the deal on the contract, and then you find an investor or a retail buyer that has a business, that have a lot of money in the bank. For some reason they can't get a loan, and you do owner financing to them, or you just sell it to assign it to a buy and hold investor that's owner financing. So you could wholesale them, you could fix and flip them, okay? You can do what I do, buy and hold. Okay. So that's why I got into the business of real estate, guys, because I want to be a buy and hold guy. I read Rich Dad Poor Dad right after college when I was living out of my car with $100. And what I basically done is whatever Rich Dad told me. My parents are illiterate, dude. What do I mean by illiterate? That if I take my mom to the restaurant, she can't read the menu. I have to read it. My sister has to read it for her. Both of my parents are refugees, immigrants to America. We don't have any connections. So my blueprint was what Rich Dad said, okay? Which is, create businesses, create cash flow, buy passive income, okay? And then once I got into the business, I learned how to do owner financing and become a master of that because I love this technique the most because there's so many benefits of it, okay? So Now, I got into the real estate, guys, in 2007, fourth quarter, when the market was melting. Everyone was running this way: realtors, insurance companies, home builders. Why were they running this way? Because the shit had melted. The lenders weren't lending. No one was getting a house. Realtors becoming secretaries. Investors going somewhere else. Home builders were figuring something else to do. And I ran the other way, right into the fire, guys. And the thing was, the great thing was, the banks weren't lending. I did have cash. At that time, I wanted to invest my money in other things. But I wanted to buy real estate, so I wanted to invest all my money into it. So I learned owner financing, and it's the most powerful way to buy real estate, in my opinion, guys. Okay, especially if you're going to be a buy and hold guy, you can easily wholesale it. You can definitely do owner financing, guys. Okay. So there's a couple of ways to make money with owner financing: fix and flip, wholesaling, buying home. Okay. Now, we're talking about 9 ways to fund your deal. So the number 1 way is to fund your deal with owner financing. You could do clear and clear. You can do houses that have loans, guys, or have mortgages, and all you do is do it subject to, okay, or a wrap, and you just take over their monthly payments. Now, I would say 90% of all the houses that I bought in Dallasville were just subject to deals, guys, okay, owner financing deals. The other were just cash deals, okay? So that's one of the first ways that I want to talk about. Now, let's get to the next one. I love the next one because this really doesn't cost you any money. The number 2 way to fund a deal is what I call, I don't know how to spell sweat equity. I don't know if that's sweet or...
Yeah, that's good.
That's right?
Yeah.
All right, sweat equity. So what I call this, since I can't spell it, I put SEQ. Okay? I use SEQ, which is sweat equity ownership. Now, I don't use this, but I came up with this idea because I had a couple of students and a couple of friends that work in the industry right around real estate, okay? But they didn't have the money, they didn't have the credit, they didn't have whatever. And I told them, hey, don't get into, they were a good close friend of mine. I said, hey, or students, I said, don't get into that, dude. This is some ways that you could get into the game, okay? So let me give you an example. I have a student, and he does, he works for a company, and they do construction work, rehab stuff on residential property. So let's just call his name A. So I told A, what I want you to do is, instead of saving your money, 10 grand to 20 grand to go, to put a down payment, to get into debt, etc. What I want you to do is, when you find somebody that just bought a property, let's say at the auction, or bought a property at a deep discount, then they're coming to call you to want to rehab the property, or you can run ads that says, hey, if you bought the property, I'll put my money to rehab it, I'll put my experience, I'll put my crew into it, and then when we sell the property, you take your initial purchase price out, I'll take my initial rehab and labor and product out, and whatever is the profit, then we can split it 50-50, 30-20, whatever, guys. Now, you're not going to get 50-50 if the guy purchase price was $100K, the investor, cash investor, okay, and you put $10,000 in repairs, rehab. So you can't expect to get fucking, 50-50. That doesn't make any sense, right? So kind of use logic here, right? But the powerful thing is that now you're able to get for example, passive income. Okay, so you guys get this fucking rental house, right? And let's say you're just getting 10%, dude, right? So what happens is, on this deal, the guy buys it for 100. You put 10,000 in it to rehab it, and you guys sell it, let's say for one, just to make this numbers easy, 200. Okay. So out of that 200, the first 100 goes to the cash investor, all right? So you're left with how much? $100, 100K. The next 10K goes to my sweat equity investor, all right? And what's left over? 90K, all right? But the story's not done. So then we take this 90K, and it goes like this. one goes out of that, then just to make numbers easy, let's say we give the cash investor 80K and the equity 10K. Again, you only put 10% into it, the other guy, so he's getting 90%, you're getting 10%. But the story's not finished there, my friend. If you're only thinking about this is not worth it, blah, 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 then see, you're a greedy motherfucker. You don't want to be thinking like that. You just made 10K, you put 10K in, you doubled your money. There's nowhere, no bank you can go today that get any kind of interest like that. But the story doesn't end here. It still goes, guys. So you guys now have this asset that you, the SEQ investor, the sweat equity owner investor, have 10% ownership. So let's say the rent is, to make everything easy, $1,000 a month. After you pay taxes, insurance, all that, property management, everything, okay, all that stuff. Let's say that stuff comes to like 700, okay, and there's going to be leftover 300 or leftover 200. It doesn't matter. Whatever it is, then what you guys are going to do is, again, split this monthly cash flow 90-10. And now, why does you or the sweat equity owner gets 10? Because that's what you put in, dude. This guy put 100, you put 10. If the rehab was 50, then you could get more than the 10%. Does that make sense? So now what you have done is basically, okay, create yourself as that equity owner. You create yourself 10K of instant profits. Okay, actually I made a mistake. If you guys sell that property, then that's what it is, okay? But if you guys don't sell the property, it's a rental, then you get the monthly cash flow, guys, okay? And if it's a rental, let's say it was that $1,000, and it's 700, and it's 300 bucks, and then you guys split it however you guys put it into it, okay? And at that time, you're building equity, you're getting tax deductions. Okay, disclosure, I'm not a CPA, I'm not an attorney, I'm just a refugee, so don't take my word for it. I'm just talking about my own opinion, my own business. So you get equity, you get tax, and you get that passive cash flow. And if you did that fix and flip, then you put 10 in and you got your 10 back and you got another 10. But if you did the buy and hold guy where you put the 10 in, that guy put 100 in, so you put 100 and you guys are splitting the cash flow 90-10, and then whenever you guys sell it, okay, at the end of the day, let's say you guys sell it after 5 years, 6 years, and now the property's worth X, or let's say 200, okay? You guys were in it for 110, now it's worth 200, and then you subtract the numbers as we talked about. The guy gets the first 100, okay, 100 left over, you get the first 10 that you have put into it, you get the 90, and then you guys split the equity cash out, 90%, 10%. Meanwhile, you were getting the monthly cash flow, you're getting the appreciation, the tax deductions, etc., guys. And you're definitely getting some of the responsibility, like if the AC broke, you guys have to fix it. But if you're that sweat equity, you're only getting 10% profit, you only got to pay 10% of the AC. Does that make sense? So you get small percent return, but you take small percent of the liability as well, which is a great thing if you don't have money, dude. It's a great thing to own property. It's a great thing to own income-producing asset without coming with any of your own money or very little money, okay? So that's one way that my friend could have done this, okay? Now, here's some other ways, okay? Let's say you're a realtor / property manager, okay? And what you can do is, when somebody has a property, okay, you're a property manager, somebody has a property, you can manage the property. Let's say they have a bunch of properties out of state or they're in state or whatever, you can manage the property. You can do the sweat equity, you can go to the eviction court, you can do the screening, you can pay some of the money of the marketing, etc., guys. And in return, get a percentage of that property, have actually not only an income percentage, but ownership into the property, okay? So if you're a property management. Okay, let's say you're not a property manager, you're not a realtor, but you're really good at finding deals, guys. Like, that's your expertise. You know how to market, you know how to negotiate. So if you're a deal finder, if you're a deal finder, then this is what we call like wholesaling, or you're pushing paper. The problem is most of you guys want that quick money. Like, let me get that, that assignment fee of $3K or that $10K, whatever. But you don't have to do it like that, dude. What you can do is constantly find deals and then tell cash buyers, say, hey, buddy, okay, I'm finding all these deals. Why don't I not take my assignment fee, right, and put it back into the property, okay? And I want to become a 10% owner or a 3% owner or 20% owner, and every deal that I help you find. Why would that cash investor want to do that? Well, guess what? For every property the cash owner finds, he has to pay an assignment fee, dude. So if you could eliminate that, and you're gonna do some sweat equity in there. You can't just find deals. Maybe you're gonna manage it, or you're gonna do the evictions, or whatever it is, dude. You're gonna do clean. You have ownership in this goose, right? This income producing goose. You've got to take care of it, right? Even if you own 3% of it, it's a great time for you to learn and how to take care of the goose, guys, for free. Like, it's basically going to the batting cages and somebody else is paying for it. You just have to learn how to bat. Sure, is it work? Yep, but guess what? You don't have to pay for the helmet. You don't have to pay for the bat. You don't have to pay for the fucking balls. And you just go in there and practice as hard as possible to make as much money as possible and learn as much as possible, dude. The money will come. Not, I made a mistake. So you want to work for education instead of money, guys. If you guys have any questions, let me know.
We have a few that came in from YouTube.
Huh?
We have a few that came in from YouTube.
Awesome. Go ahead and ask it.
Okay.
Yes, go ahead.
Alex Rodriguez on YouTube is asking, hey Mike, I have a real estate license. Do you recommend I market as an investor and then be their agent if they don't want to sell for a low price, or with owner financing? Is that how you started?
Well, I mean, that's a very, very good question, my friend. The problem with being a realtor is that you have liabilities, okay? When I did it is, I'm not a realtor, I wasn't a broker. I owned the corporation. I owned all the corporation stocks. I just had a corporate broker work for me, okay? And I would give him money for the deals. And then the broker would have realtors that I market to and everything. So I didn't deal with the aspect of the real estate because I'm not a realtor, I'm not a licensed owner, I want to be, but I acted in the aspect of the business, the marketing, all that, system creation, VAs, etc. Okay. Now, the way I did it in my business is I, kind of did what you say. I marketed as Mr. Investor, and when sellers called, I used both briefcases. What I call my investor briefcase, it has different types of tools like cash offers, short sales, subject twos, etc. And I also use my my realtor briefcase, which has like listings, flat fee MLS, etc. Okay, and I would do what's called a superhero offer, which I talk about in my negotiation book. If you don't have it, get it, dude. Basically, I give them all the offers, so you got to get it, and it's going to help you. But you're on the right track. I do use both briefcases to get 9 out of 10 deals. So if you don't know how to negotiate subject twos, etc., definitely get that book, dude. But that's a very good question, okay? Any other questions?
What are you doing for marketing to motivated sellers right now?
Very, very good question, okay? Any other questions?
We have one from Eastside. He says, I have a purchase and sell agreement, an addendum, and a many power of attorney authorized to release form, and I'm ready to start making deals. But what do you say to a homeowner? Mm-hmm. Yeah. It says, my parents are political refugees from Cuba, and I want to make deals and do real estate game without using my own money.
Man, very good. So this brings me to one question, okay? Many people that talk to me says, well, I talked to a seller, they didn't want to do the deal, or they didn't want the offer, and 60 cents on a dollar, 50 cents on a dollar. But what you don't understand is that every Harry and Joe that wants to sell their property is not your customer. Everybody is not your customer. Your customer is like 10% to 5%, somewhere between that range. Okay, I would say like 10 to 7%, to be honest with you, somewhere around that age, is that want to sell. Does everybody go to a pawn shop? No, dude. Okay, so you are the pawn shop of real estate, and that's what I tell the sellers, guys. I'm the pawn shop of real estate. Okay, not everybody's gonna use your pawn shop. Now, what do I do for marketing, dude? Guys, I have 2 books. One is on Amazon that I sell for $219, but I'm letting it go on Amazon for $19. It's called 39 No Fluff Real Estate Marketing Bootcamp. 5-star. Get it, dude. It tells you exactly how to do paid marketing, but more importantly, how to do free marketing. If you guys haven't figured, I love free, right, instead of paid, okay? Then I have another book on my website, which is called The 42 Ways to Find Motivated Sellers for Free, or almost free. Those ideas are almost for free or all for free, dude. You don't have to spend any money. But that book is $219, guys. It's definitely worth it. That's what I use, guys. I use the combination of the 39 and the 42, and I put it together, and I use that for any business, not only real estate, guys. Okay. Let's go ahead and move forward with other options. Okay. Let me get a little water. All right, and another way that you guys can fund deals is what I call pulling your money in, okay? Now, guys, my very first one and number 2 are my very best ones. I don't like this other stuff, but I'm gonna talk about it, okay? So, pooling, what does that mean? Like, for example, you can find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 investors all go together to go buy this house, right? And split it. But I'd rather not to do that. I'd rather just find this home seller and do number 1, and me and the home seller just go into it. Me and the seller go into it. So I'd rather just do that. So that's why I don't do the pooling, dude. 2, I don't like to partner up with people. I've already lost a lot of money partnering up with my brother. I learned a lesson hard ways. So from now on, no more partnering up for me, dude. If I can't lift it, fuck it. I gotta get stronger before I start lifting it. But it's a great option. Pooling can happen with your family. There's a lot of people, family support them, dude. My family never supported me, but if your family supports you, you get your mama, daddy, brother, sister, and you guys can go in, right? You can pool your money in. Or, like I said, you can pool with like-minded minds. A couple of investors can go into a big apartment complex or go into one rehab property or what have you, okay? But again, I don't like to do pooling because I like to just, if I was going to do something like that, I would do number 2, where I do sweat equity partnering. So if I bought this house and I don't have the money to rehab it, then what I'll do is I'll just partner up with somebody that has a construction business and give them a percentage into the equity, because I hate managing people, dude. I hate it. I hate to go up there and watch my guys, watch the crew. But if they learn that if they have a skin in the game, if they're going to eat like me eating, then they're going to take care of it, and I don't have to manage them as much. So that's why I don't like pooling. But pooling is a great way, and that's number 3, guys. So these ways, you don't have to pay interest, you don't have to get into debt, you don't have to sign your life away. But if you lose money, your mama and daddy might get mad, your friends may not become your friends anymore. So be careful with that. Okay? I think we're on number 4 now, but I'm not sure. So the next idea is called, okay? And an assignment is that, like I said, many of you guys think that if you want to get in real estate, you have to have money. But the truth of the fact is, you don't have to have money, because what you can do is called pushing paper. All you do is you market to a motivated seller, you put it under a contract, and then you assign your contract to an end buyer, and you never have to have the fund, you never have to have the credit, anything like that. And an assignment is just pushing the paperwork. This is a contract, I give it to you, you give me $3,000. That's simple. It doesn't even happen at a title company. It can happen at a Starbucks. It can happen at home. It can happen at my office, your office. It can happen anywhere. An assignment is just, I go market to a motivated seller. That 7%, that 10% that I talked about, I market these guys, put it under contract, and then I sell it to you. And I say, look, dude, I got this deal that's 60 cents on the dollar. Do you want it? You say, yes, I could get $3,000 for this package deal. What is the package deal? This contract, what I negotiated on here, okay? Do you want it? You say yes. I say, okay, it's $3,000. You give me the $3,000, I give you this. This can happen at Starbucks, it can happen anywhere. Just a piece of paper we sign. That's it, dude. Assignment. So that way, you're getting a property without coming in with the cash. Very simple, guys, okay? Now, I like assignments. When I do wholesaling, which is not much, but if my student gets a deal, I try to help him move it. and we always do assignments, okay? So that's one other way to fund the deal, okay? So assignments. Very powerful way, guys. Another way to fund the deal is called double closing. Right? So a double closing is kind of like an assignment, but the formality is different, dude. An assignment is just on the backhand side. You guys are changing the contract and the assignment agreement paperwork. But when you do double closing, you just go to a title company and basically this is closing number 1. This is closing number 2. And the deed goes. This is you. This is the seller. The seller basically gives you the deed, and you're the owner. You might be the owner for just 30 seconds. You might be the owner for just 1 day. It just depends. And then once you get the deed, and then you sell it to your other exit buyer, which could be an investor, it could be a retail buyer, or it could be an end buyer, which is like what I call owner financing buyers. Okay. A retail is somebody what I call somebody that's going to get a loan from FHA or VA, etc. Okay. So double closing usually happens in states that don't allow it, or if you're going to make a lot of money, and this guy here that's going to be buying it is an investor and he's a hater, right? He don't want you to make a lot of money, then you might want to do double closing, dude. But I don't even deal with people like that. If somebody has a problem with me making $3,000 or $100,000, it doesn't matter. As long as they're happy with the deal. For example, if I got a deal, the house is worth $100,000, and I got the deal for $40,000, and if I sell it to this guy and he's happy with it, then if I got this house for $1, he shouldn't give a fuck. Why should he give a fuck, dude? He was happy buying it at 40 cents on the dollar, 40% off, just whatever I made. No, there's people out there, I have family members who are like that they were happy if I gave them a deal, but then when they realize what I made, they're upset. I'm not a hater like that. But when I see people like that, they're like cockroaches, I fucking just block them in my life and move over. I don't even try to fuck with these people, because you don't want that kind of bullshit in your life, dude. You know what I mean? Just cockroaches, just move the fuck over. So if you have any motherfucker that has any problem with you making money, move the fuck over, dude. Because if, for example, if you're bringing them a deal at 40 cents on the dollar, they're happy, and they realize later that you just made $39,000, and they're not happy no more, they're just fucking haters. Don't never do business with them, no matter what, dude. It's not worth it, dude, okay? Just a bunch of headaches, okay? But I don't care. If you bring me a deal, you got it for free, and you're making 40, but I'm happy at the price that we talked about, I don't give a fuck how much money you make. I'm still gonna make money, I'm happy, dude. So that's how we do it. That's one of the reasons you might want to do double closing. There's other reasons, but I don't ever fucking do double closings, nor do I teach my students to do double closings, unless they're in a state that's required to. But it just doesn't make any sense. It's just more money. Why deal with people that are in a situation where they're going to get mad at you because you made a lot of money? It could be an investor, or it could be a seller. Some sellers see that you made a lot of money and they don't want it, but I'm upfront with the seller immediately. And if they're like the hater, if they're that wishy-washy, I don't even allow it to get to the fucking title company, dude. I'm already out of that situation. That's why I use a lot of my filtering system, like my seller phone script. If you don't have it, get it. It helps you analyze the deal. It helps you keep track of the deal. It helps you give offers like owner financing. The very first place that I start with getting owner financing is my seller phone script, because on page 3, the questions that I ask determines if the seller wants to do owner financing, guys, or they're open to it. So now we talked about getting owner financing, like free and clear, versus they have a loan on it. We talked about equity, sweat ownership. Okay, we talked about assignments. We talked about double closing. We talked about pooling, where you pool in with just like your friends and family, what have you. Okay. The next thing is, and that's what most people don't tell you, is what I like to tell you is basically, man, you gotta have a fucking business, dude. Right? You gotta have a business that gives you fucking money, dude. I mean, and that's what nobody wants to hear. The truth is, you need to have a business. The reason I got into real estate is that at the cash flow quadrant, At one time I had an E in high school. I said, never gonna do this shit again. Right? Then I started becoming a personal trainer. I was in the S, like Rich Dad said. Then I had my moving company. I was making money. I was in the B. Then I had my real estate. And then I wanted my money to work for me, and I became in the I. Right? So some of you guys are fucking here, but you wanted to get in here. Some of you guys are fucking here, and you're looking for a shortcut to get here. And so, you know, and everybody and their mama is selling you a shortcut to get here, dude. But the truth of the fact is, how I got in here because I had this and it was making me money. Then I got in here. So if you want to do buy and hold, you gotta have some money, dude. So create a fucking business that generates you money, dude. Okay? Or have a good paying job, okay? A good job. Right? Like what's a good job? Like doctors, like, you know, doctors, attorneys, these are people that own businesses like car business, like, you know, that are making like multi-million dollars a year. Those are great people that to partner up with in my what I call my sweat ownership. You can partner up with these people because they have the money, but they don't have the time to create systems and go talk to sellers because they already have a business that makes them a lot of money, okay? Whatever. So if you have the time, or you're a property manager, or you know how to do rehabs, or you're fucking good at finding deals, or you're good at negotiation, then these are the people you want to meet up, dude. And you're not gonna find these at REI clubs. You're gonna go find them in their own field. Like, for example, in my moving business, I would go to yearly moving association. Well, guess what? There's a lot of motherfuckers that went there that own moving companies. And they made fucking money, and they were thinking about, they read Rich Dad Poor Dad, and they didn't know how to invest in I. So that's how I would get my buyers, right? You understand what I'm saying, guys? I wouldn't go with everybody else tells you to go. It's like, oh, build your cash list. I mean, you can do all that, but there's other ways to do it too, okay? That's what I'm trying to tell you. So the next way you can fund for your deals is the honest way, which is have a fucking business or have a good paying job, you know, 75, whatever, and then buy income producing assets so you can have passive income, okay? But don't forget this. This is the most crucial way. It teaches a lot of skills, okay? Now, if you're here, then you can still get into the investment business, but just know that you're not going to be an I, you're going to be in the S, which is basically being a wholesaler, which is what I call pushing paper. And it's a great way to start, dude. You make money, you get to learn for free, and you got to put a lot of time in, dude. Right? But hey, that's the cost, because the way I did it is I came here, I went here, and then I had money to do this. So if you haven't done all this shit, somehow you got to figure out how to do this shit with here. You got to don't do these smooths. There's no shortcuts, dude. There's no free fucking pill. Don't believe that bullshit, okay? Alright guys, if you have any questions, ask. I'm going to get a drink of water real quick. Don't forget, guys, get my first deal package. If you haven't got it, we only have a few left at the $47. After that, it's going to go to $325. Don't forget about my VA exponential. If you own any kind of business, if you're not using virtual assistants in third world countries that you can pay $100 for them to work 8-hour days for you, then you're crazy, dude. Be like Apple. Be like fucking Dell. You be like these big corporations. How do you think they're making so much fucking money? Dude, they're outsourcing. Why can't you do it? You can do it now, dude. And I'll show you how to do it in my book. We sold fucking 50 books in 9 days. We're almost sold out in 25, dude. We have only 6 left or 5 left. Get that shit. It's $325. After that, it's gonna be $1,500. Look at the reviews, dude. More people are gonna leave reviews because it's a 7-hour course. It takes a long time. I give you my blueprints. I give you where to advertise. And I'm not talking about, you know, Upworks or free. I'm not talking about that kind of shit. I'm talking about the real stuff, dude. I'm not talking about just like I have 3 VAs and I'm a VA expert. No, dude. I've been doing VA since 1999 till now. That's a long fucking time, dude. Just my moving company that would have 22 to 30 VAs at one fucking time, dude. I had 2 other companies. So I'm never an expert at anything. I always want to know that, hey, I'm learning. But I think that from where I've started to where I am, I have definitely improved my fucking game, dude, okay? But I'm no shape an expert at anything. I think my fart smells just like your fart. My shit's just like your... I'm just like you, dude. The only difference is I start where the fuck I stand, dude. I started where the fuck I stand. And that's what I'm trying to teach you guys. Start. Fuck if you don't know what to do. Fuck if you don't have help. Fuck if you don't have money. Fuck if you don't this. Who gives a fuck, dude? Just start, dude, because when you start learning, dude. If you just show up the fucking gym, you start learning by looking around, by you got sore, if you did something wrong, your joints hurt, and you can learn and adjust. But if you don't start, you're never gonna get anywhere, dude. So ask the questions, I'm gonna drink some water, and we'll go to the next point.
Ahmad on YouTube says, I'm buying my first house at age 18 and money makes money.
Woo! Man, dude, my friend, you're so smarter than I am. I wish that I got into real estate. You know, I believe the hype. When I was in high school, I was a great sales guy. I had personal training. I used to do fucking sell supplements in college. But I thought that I needed money to buy real estate. Man, if I would have bought rental houses in college, because I was a great sales guy. I used to sell oil. Man, I used to sell personal training to 30-year-old. Dude, I could have sold. But I didn't know subject to. I didn't know wholesaling. No motherfucker told me. My parents are refugees. I didn't know this shit. You're so much ahead of me, bro. Without a doubt, dude. How did you buy your house? Did you finance it? Did you pay with a credit card? Your parents helped you? Did you create financing? Love to hear about it, man. But you're the man, man. You're the man. Okay.
Fabian on YouTube is asking, do you think we're ready for a correction on the real estate market?
Dude, I've been saying that. If you go back to my YouTube a while back, and if you guys haven't seen, I bought thousands and thousands of dollars in gold because it is coming, dude. I mean, we're in a situation where most of us don't understand is that our money is fiat. The Federal Reserve, which is not part of the government, and just like a mafia type of thing, is printing money every day, is robbing your money at your savings. You know, the stock market is fucking fake. You know, and so absolutely it's coming. When is it coming? No one knows. I don't want to predict it, but without a doubt, I know it's coming. So it's a great time. You can do a lot of wholesaling deals. You know, but personally, I'm not buying a lot of properties to buy and hold right now. What I'm working on is my business to increase my cash flow. When the market crashes, when everybody and their mama is running this way, guess what? I'm gonna go all in, dude. I'm gonna cash out my gold and go all in. And fuck it, I got nothing else to do, man. I'm a refugee to America. I got nothing to lose and everything to gain. And that's what I teach you. If you start with $100, guys, I started with $100, dude. Right out of high school, college. I've already taken out my $100 many moons ago, dude. All this other money I made and I have is free money, dude. So if I lose every fucking thing, it doesn't mean anything. I still have my $100 that I started with a long time ago. And that's what I teach you guys. That's why I was able to just let go of my business that I have for 14, 15 years and just go become homeless, because I didn't have any debt. I didn't have any masters to speak to or answer to. I could just say, you know what, fuck this shit. I don't need this stuff. I don't need this business. I could do it. Everything's in here. And that's it. And I showed you guys, like, I was homeless 6 months ago. I was stinky. You could see me. I wouldn't shower, dude. I would shower every 3 days. I'm a minimalist. I give up all my clothes. I have 3 shirts for winter, 3 pants for winter, 3 shirts for gym, 3 shirts for shorts for gym, 3 shirts for just summer, 3 shorts. That's why you guys see me every day wearing the same shit. But does that mean I don't have any money? No, dude. I just don't give a fuck anymore about this material stuff, dude. I want freedom to decide where I want to eat today, not have to look at my banking account, not work whenever I want to, go camping, spend time with my dog, spend time with my girl, spend time with my baby that's coming up. And I don't want to have fucking like all this stuff that just, takes me away from what the purpose of life is, guys. So I teach you guys how to get into business or how to get into real estate investing without getting into debt. Like, I've already told you 5, 6 stuff out of the 9, and now one of them was using credit cards. Have you figured that shit out yet, dude? Okay, so let's go to some of the other points, dude. To wrap this up. All right, so let's do other stuff, and this other stuff I'm just gonna call other ideas, because these are the stuff that you find on the internet. The first 3 I told you is, you're not gonna find that, is creative ideas. Okay, the other stuff is, how do you find deals, dude? Fun deals. You can use a hard money lender. Okay, hard money lending is good for if you're doing fix and flips, dude. But you're not gonna get a hard money lender to do rentals or buy and hold and stuff like that. It's fucking expensive, right? They're not really caring about you and your credit. They do care about the property. So if the property's worth 100 and you got it under contract for 90, they're not gonna give you the money, dude. If it's for 100 and you got it for 40 and the property needs 10,000, they probably will lend it to you. Okay, so it's all about, not all, but majority of the probability of they're going to lend it to you is about the property and your experience, dude. Okay, so hard money lending, I mean, you're going to have to pay some points up front. You're going to have to pay 14 to 18% interest rates. I mean, ugly they eat all your money, and you can use it. I'm not saying you shouldn't use it. It should be a tool in your toolbox. But you know, when I go up, I'm always going with my favorite tools. I'm not gonna use somebody else's tools that's gonna get me and then make me a slave with them. Okay. All right. So we talked about hard money. There's private money. What is private money? For example, you own a business, Bob comes to you and says, man, this is a great deal. You want to fund it. You realize that, hey, this is a great deal. And you're not in the business of lending money. You're in the business of moving, but you're willing to lend them money. That's private money. If you're going to borrow money, that's the best way. Interest rates are less. They're not professionals. They're more lenient. But again, you know, I don't like to borrow money. I like to use my imagination, my hard work, creativity to subsidize the money and the debt, guys, okay? All right. Other ways that you can get deals is, you know, credit cards. But I just want to tell you, don't fuck with that, man. I know this guy's on YouTube that says like 100% finance and stuff. You can't get rich, dude. So here's the fucking zero, dude. All right. Here's negativity, negative. All right. Here's positive. And financial freedom is positive. You can't go negative at fucking 18% interest to go positive, dude. That doesn't make any fucking sense. Now, I know that a lot of people like Rich Dad, my fans, just talk about leverage, good debt, bad. I understand all that shit, dude. But here's the thing, man. Think about this shit, guys, okay? And all debt is dancing with the devil. You're dancing with the banks. The banks are like the gambling house, a casino. The house always fucking wins, dude. They do have that one lucky winner, without a doubt, right? And here's why I'm telling you this. Look at all these famous people. Football players that made multi-millions, basketball players that made multi-millions, Michael Jackson, Fortune 500 companies like Kodak, like Payless, like so many different things. How did they, GMC, we just bailed them out. How did they all go bankrupt, right? How did they all lose their money? Because of debt, dude. They grew without fake growth, like steroids, right? Death is when you borrow money, you can grow, but it's artificial growth. You don't have the foundation. You don't have the skills. You don't have the creativity. You don't have the imagination. You can't put up systems. You can't sell. You can't market at that level that you borrow. So eventually you're going to shrink up. And the pudding is in the history. Go back and look at all these fucking companies that have all these millions of dollars that gone bankrupt. Why? Why? All these celebrities that made all this money, right? Why? Because two things. They had cancer consumption, right? So if you have cancer consumption, no matter how much money you make, you're gonna make $1 million a month, $100,000 a month, $10,000 a month, $2,000. You're never gonna have freedom, dude. You're gonna be always slave, right? And that's how Michael Jackson, all these favorite people of mine, are. They make all this money, and at the end of the day, they don't have shit because they had cancer consumption. And then two, what feeds the cancer is the sugar, which is what? The fucking debt, dude. The lenders. So when somebody goes from nothing into celebrity, who makes rich? The lenders, dude. The bankers, the creditors. End of the day, that celebrity is dried off debt, right? And who made off? You know, who made all the money from Michael Jackson? Who made all the money from Tyson? They're fucking lenders and all the other people. Tyson dried off. That's because of cancer consumption. No disrespect to Tyson, man. I love the guy. I love all champs. But I'm just understanding that why do the other people that make all this money, they don't have rental cars, they don't have this passive income because they bought luxurious cars, they bought luxurious eggs. And I'm not saying you shouldn't have luxurious stuff. All I'm saying is, dude, you want to have to understand that you want to have stuff or do you want to have freedom? Because you can have stuff at making $24,000 a year and you can have stuff making $10 million a year, right? But that stuff is costing you debt and slavery. Or you can have your freedom and making $3,000 a year, but you have no debt, no car payment, all that stuff, and it's going in your pocket. Or you got freedom at $20 million a year. So it's not the actual gross amount that you make. It's about your consumption and the debt you owe. And that's something that, you know, I guess I'm the only guy that sees differently in America, that I say stay away from debt. I've seen a lot of successful people, especially in the crash. I was an investor. I talked to attorneys, lawyers. Man, they dance with the fucking devil. Interest rate changed. They got too leveraged. Whatever the story was, now they're losing everything they work for. So I say, fuck the bankers. Use your imagination. This is America, dude. We built this country without debt, dude. The founding fathers wanted to get away from the central banking system, guys. You forget your history, dude. You don't need these stinky bankers. They just slave your ass, dude. That's it, right? So that's why I don't talk about credit card, how to borrow money with credit card, or how to make money with borrowing money from Bank of America, right? Or the next idea. How do you get other ideas, right? You do a refinance, right? You do refinancing. I mean, that's another way to get money. Like, you have equity in your home, you refinance it, you buy a house at a deep discount, or owner financing, and you refinance it. But to me, I want you guys, or for me, I want to go out here into the positive land. I ain't trying to get over here, dude, right? The negative land. But you can if you want to. This is zero, dude, right? So refinancing is taking all your fucking equity out. Sure, there's benefit, you don't pay taxes, but you get all the way back into the debt, and you got to go back in here again, right? So refinancing is an option, guys. Another good option another option that people talk about is, corporation loans. Like, you get a loan under your employee identification number, etc. like that. I don't fuck with this stuff, but if you were gonna get a loan, if I was gonna get a loan, I'd rather get a loan in my company name instead of my personal name, but that's a different story. So corporation loans is another way to fund deals. Another way is to, get home equity loans, right? Home equity loans, guys, right? All right, let's use some other ways, okay? These are some ways that are techniques that are not kind of getting borrowing money, but it gives you control. For example, you could do what's called options. In an option, you don't own the property, but you control the property. So if in the future the property appreciates, right? In the future, today is today, day one, and maybe like 3 years later it appreciates, you can exercise your option. And see, this is a way we control property without getting into debt. It might not be a bad idea. Okay. Another thing that you can guys do to fund your deals is called lease option. So this is like an option like what we talked about, but then you're actually controlling the property now with a lease. And this is not a bad idea if you're new, but some states don't allow it, or there's penalties, so you might want to check your state. But this might be a good option. I would have took this option when I first started if I didn't have money, but I had the money, so I just decided to get the deeds. But if I didn't have money, I would do a lease option to control it. From here you can lease it like a landlord type of deal and get the monthly cash flow. What do I mean? If your master lease to your landlord is $1,000, and if the market you can rent it out for $1,300, then you'll make $300. You don't own the property, you don't get all the tax benefit, but you don't have to deal with all the liabilities as well, guys. You don't have to deal with like repairs, headaches, evictions, and all that bullshit that I had to deal with as a buy and hold guy. But you get to control this property, dude. You get to make the monthly cash flow. This is a great idea. Like if my sister was gonna do it, that's the first thing I would have her to do, for her to get her foot wet, and then we would go into other stuff, guys. All right. And another way you can get a property and make money and get your foot wet is just do a lease with no options, dude. Okay. And then again, you do Airbnb. Which if I get lease, I would do Airbnb, man. It just the profits is so much more than just being like a straight land. Maybe just 200 or 300. Where here you can make a couple of thousand, depends on where you are. Okay. I could go into it, but I do have a video on my blog where we do the numbers Airbnb. Get on my real estate dojo, click on Airbnb, and I do the numbers where you make $2,000 to $3,000 more per fucking property than renting it out, dude. Okay. All right, so we talked about a lot of different stuff. We talked about lease options. We talked about refinancing. We talked about credit cards. We talked about hard money. We talked about private money. We talked about home equity. We talked about assignments. We talked about double closing. We talked about sweat equity, which is my favorite for people that don't have money but they have specific skills. We talked about owner financing. We talked about there's two types of owner financing, guys. A lot of you guys are not getting owner financing because you're not giving the offer. Get on my website and get my fucking Terminator offer. It's a couple of bucks. It's not gonna let you down, dude. If you just give this to every seller, you're gonna get an owner financing deal. If you just give these offers out, somebody's gonna say yes, dude. And I go into a detail just that one deal is going to help you get owner financing. Okay. So we talked about a variety of different ways to get owner financing. We talked about a variety of different ways you can make money in real estate. And if you guys have any other questions, I'd be happy to answer it.
On YouTube, Getabar 2000 wants to know, what do you think about a car wrap? I'm thinking about wrapping my Jeep.
Dude, I love it, dude. I've been in business since high school. Every fucking car that I've ever owned, and I'm almost 39 years old. This is the very first time I don't have a car that's wrapped. Every car, every business, man, it's an income-producing asset. You take a car that's a liability where you have to make the payments if you don't own it. If you own it, great job. Then it's still a liability. You gotta, in Texas, you gotta pay inspection, you gotta pay registration, you gotta pay gas, you gotta pay insurance. You take something that's it's a liability that's sucking money out of your pocket, even though it's getting you from point A to point B, but it's just a liability. It's negative. And when you wrap it, now you turn it into a positive, guys. I mean, it's in the story, dude. It's a no-brainer. I would say in my moving company, I would get 25% of all my business from the moving business just from people seeing my wrap cars, dude. Okay, great idea. Don't forget to get my VA book, man. It's gonna help you a lot more than getting your car wrapped. Now, the VA book, okay. How many customers, I don't know if you guys see my smart card fully wrapped. We spend roughly about $17,000 to $2,000 on it. How many customers would I get a month from that? Maybe anywhere from 1 to 3 leads a month. Okay, this is almost like a $2,000 investment. Okay, so for car wrap, $2,000, it may give you 1 to 2 deals a year, right? That's not bad at all, right? I'm not dissing on it. I do it all the time. I just told you I do it all the time. But what now? The VA for fucking $100, you can get a VA to produce you 1 fucking lead a day because they're gonna work 8 hours a day. If they're just posting on Craigslist 9 times a day, they're posting on back pages, they're posting on Facebook, they're posting on Facebook groups. They're gonna get you at least 1 lead a day. In 1 week, that's 5. Okay, in 1 month, that's 20. Can you see the difference? Where here, you're gonna maybe get 1 to 3 leads a month. This is a month, dude. Here, you're getting 20. Okay, now. The way I pay for my wrap, I use VAs, dude. The way I pay for this, you guys pay for this, okay? And I thank you so much, dude. And not because I didn't have the money. I use the alchemy formula. That's what I teach you, is not to get in debt. I have my customers prepay for my business. And that's what I try to teach you guys, not to get in debt. So I'm not talking some bullshit. I am doing it right now. 6 months ago, I was homeless. 6 months ago, we went to my website, it was down. I turned it down. I didn't want to take any more fucking business. I just want to do what the grace did, like Buddha did, like Christ did. I live with the homeless people, dude. No joke. I travel America. I camped in my car. I camped out different places. I did Airbnb. I was stinky as fuck. I had very few clothes. Everything I owned was just given away to homeless people. I just walked away from everything, right? I want to pour myself empty and know the meaning of life, which is, I realize, is to change you guys' life, dude. Okay? Sure, I need to pay my bills, but the more people I change, somehow the Creator's going to provide for me. As I just came back, dude, we made $5,000 in 9 days. It's not a lot of money, dude, right? But shit, motherfuckers I know that have college degrees, like my cousin that's a dentist, she makes $6,000 to $7,000 a month. But she's a dentist, dude. She has so much debt, she has so much schooling, right? So I did it in 9 days. We sold over my first book that's on Amazon, 250 in 2 weeks, dude. People that go to publishers, I beg, please. And they're so much better than me, so much better writers. Okay, nothing that I'm special. I'm not bragging. I'm trying to let you know that, guys, that I'm the real fucking deal, right? I'm not going to borrow money from debt, and I don't tell you guys to do it either because the grass is so green here. How do I know? I'm a refugee here, so I know the grass is green. Some of you guys are blinded because you're born here, dude, right? You hang out with all these motherfuckers that are just moaning, ooh, the economy, the president, this, ooh. See, you hang out a bunch of fucking crybabies and nothing good happens, dude. Where I don't hang out with anybody that's negative. Anybody that's negative, I cut them off, right? I know the grass is green. I went from being homeless to start making some money. Just yesterday, I showed you guys I was making $600-700. Actually, one day I was making $700. Next day, $1,000 plus. Next day, $500. And I just started this business, guys. Right? No credit cards. Lucky you don't be sitting on my shit, man. All right, you over here with your dirty booty on my stuff. All right. Any other questions, guys?
Duran is asking, is getting a deal off the MLS a big mistake? It's 29K, 6K in rehab, ARV is 65 to 70.
All right, that's a very good question, and I'm gonna let you make a decision, okay? All right. So let's rewind back. It was 2007, 2008, 2009. I started buying houses subject to, okay, owner financing. They're still out there today, all right? Like I said, not everybody's gonna do it, but they're still out there. You gotta be the pawn shop. I started buying houses subject to. I got non-recourse loans. I didn't have to pay any closing fees. I didn't have to buy title. I didn't have to do any of that junky bullshit, right? And then I put my house on the MLS at a discount price. And I explained to you guys just the other day, I sold 2 houses to 2 investors because one house was called Rambling, 3054 Rambling. You guys can actually Google it, right? Rambling Drive, 75228 Dallas. So I bought this property subject to. I rented it out. I made a lot of monthly cash, like $400 or $500 more a month for many years. And then I decided to sell it. And since I was motivated, I was closing everything down. I didn't give a fuck. I left $100,000 on the table for whoever bought it next. So how do I know? The guy that bought it, you can tell the difference. The guy that bought it was a very professional investor. Hey, get off my bag. All right. So the guy that bought it from me bought it from the MLS. He was a very professional investor. He had his own team, crew, and these guys were professional, right? So he bought it on MLS. I left $100,000 on the table for him. So he bought it. He had to go to the bank. He had to sign all the stuff, put his money up, all this stuff, right? And when he sold it for $310, I believe. I'm not mistaken, but I think this is the right numbers. He sold it for $310. He paid me like I think $184 or $185 or I don't remember. Okay, so he made like $110,000. But after this, he has to pay his closing, he has to pay his realtor, he has to pay the rehab, he has to pay the holding fee. So he might have just pocketed, again, 10 to 15%, $25K. I pocketed, when I closed that fucking deal, right off the cash equity was like, I don't remember right now, 67K to like 75K. I made that. Right? And that's the equity cash out at closing. I still made monthly cash flow. Month after month. That was a lot of money. If you had that monthly cash flow plus this, it's over $100,000. How much did I get paid to get this fucking house? I paid the seller $1 and to tie the property up, and then I made like 3 back payments, which was like roughly about $3K. That includes my closing costs, everything. So I paid $3K. I didn't have to get a loan. I didn't have to use a realtor. I didn't have to do all the fucking stupid shit like paying closing costs and all that stuff, right? I paid $3K. I bought it subject to 6-7 years. I sold it. I cashed out equity, $67,000, $75,000. I don't remember exactly. You go to my YouTube, it's there. I made monthly cash flow. I got a shitload of tax deductions because I owned the rental property for a long time, right? And so you tell me, who is better? The guy that had to borrow all that money, $180K, and get stuff like that, or the guy that? So it's kind of like this stick right here. You want to grab it at the bottom, or you want to grab it at the top, So I got it at the bottom. I used it, and then I sold it to another investor. Did he make money? Yes, he did. But he went the traditional way, the way they teach you in REI clubs. He went the way they teach you at the seminars where you go and you get a 60 cents, you get a hard money lender, private, whatever. I'm not dissing with that. There's nothing wrong with that, dude. But you could be an insider. If you're buying shit off the MLS, you're never an insider, dude. That's the shit. If you're buying stuff at the auction, whatever auction, tax auction, foreclosure auction, you're never an insider. In one sense, you're an insider because you have money, you create a system, and you're not like the average herd that has a JOB. But you're not a true insider because you're not, I already get the deals and sell it to the people that are at the auction instead of being the guy that buys it off the MLS. So I'm not sure if it's a good deal. You can use your mind. I would say whatever I was going to pay in realtor fees or whatever, I would just mark it, find motivated sellers, buy it at a deep discount, or use one of these 9 ways that I just talked about, especially owner financing, to get deals, guys.
We got 2 more questions. You want to go for them?
yeah, let's go into it. And before we go to it, guys, to wrap it up, to let you guys know, if you have any questions, please post it. Get my startup kit, your first deal. If you haven't done a deal, you're new, get it. I'm gonna over provide for you. I'm gonna talk about the whole aspect from A to Z, but more importantly, I'm gonna talk about to help you get your first paycheck. All right. Here's the thing, guys. If you get this first deal kit, and then you buy my seller phone script, okay, because we need that. If you market and you're new, you don't know what to do, and you find a seller and you ask them to sell your questionnaire form, hit me up, get on my website, text me. I'll have one of my trainers, Soraya, to help you guys close this deal totally for free, as long as you're paying your membership, which is the membership fee is you need the first deal kit, right? And then you need the seller phone script. And I keep selling phone script, but it's so much more. We need this to negotiate. Me and my team only look at this over the phone, and we give you 7 ways to structure a deal. We can tell them the seller's motivation by these questions. So this is so fucking important, dude. If you have these 2, I am willing to help you close your deals. Now, guys, I charge $25K, but I'll have a team member help you go from here, from that line to here, to the deal. And then we'll help you to go from the deal to get the money. Alright? And why do we want to do this? 2 reasons. We want to change your fucking life, man. We want to see you get those checks. And the second thing is that we help you guys, hey, I want to get that positive feedback loop that I am doing this right, that I didn't just leave my 3 businesses that I had paid for, my rental businesses, and go into this darkness, the pit, that my life is actually meaning something. So if that's the case, get these 2, and I will help you guys do deals. As long as you have to sell a phone script when you have the first deal. We're almost sold out of this. It's going to be 325. Right now it's 47. Get it, guys. Get it.
All right. Amanda on Facebook is asking, do you have any tips in reference to dealing with land?
Yeah. Personally, I don't fuck with land. Here's a couple of reasons I don't fuck with land. Number 1 is that, it's not an income producing asset. Like, if your daddy is rich or you come from money, then great. I'm a refugee, dude. My parents were immigrants here. So I can't just put my money into some land, wait 10, 20 years, and hope that it's going to go up. Meanwhile, I have to pay insurance. Meanwhile, I got to cut the fucking grass so the city's going to give me citation. Meanwhile, somebody slips and falls on my land, I have liability. So I don't fuck with land. I'm not saying that you shouldn't, but I just don't. Now, if you have a lot of money, and you come from a good family, and you know the inside story that this area is going to grow, you have some inside information, then absolutely, why not? If it's owner financing, I might fuck with it more, but I just don't just go. When I first started in real estate, before I really got serious, I was going on eBay, and I wanted to buy a piece of land in the middle of nowhere. Guys, that was one of the biggest mistakes. I'm glad I didn't do that. It was only like 10K, dude. You could buy a piece of land in Arizona, dirt. You could buy a piece of land in fucking Colorado, dirt, right? And man, damn, I could have bought, just because I had the 10 grand, it sounded like a good deal, and it was just a pitfall, dude. You're better off if you have 10 grand to buy a subject to deal, buy a rental property where you put 2 or 3 grand down, you keep the 7 as a safety net in case you can't make the monthly payments, you have a cushion, and then you have monthly cash flow, you have equity, you have your renters paying off the fucking debt, you get all this tax benefits, so on and so on.
All right, we got 1 more. Let's see. No, 2 more.
All right, guys, let's do it. Hey, guys, if you're not on my YouTube channel, My Real Estate Dojo, go up there, please subscribe. I'm having a baby. My goal is to have 100,000 subscribers. Right now at 7, I haven't paid for any advertisement. I haven't paid for any subscribers. I don't believe in that shit. I want to change lives. So if I had impacted you, if I helped you out, if you don't got no money to buy from me, that's nothing. That's okay, dude. Just let me know I'm helping you out. And the way you do that is by sharing my stuff, dude. That's it. I don't need every one of you guys to buy from me. I just wanted to help you guys. Some of you guys have the money to buy from me, then great. If you don't, great. As long as you let me know that I'm helping you guys, as long as I feel good, I'm going to vibrate. And I've never, ever asked for anybody for fucking money. I make my own money. Today, I'm making my money. 15 years ago, I made money. I don't need my mama, my daddy, the banker. I don't need the economy. I'm self-made, and I'm going to show you guys how to do it. And I did it through imagination and hard work. my shit smells just like you. We're just the same, dude. We're just the same, okay? What's the questions?
Eastside on YouTube wants to know, what was your very first subject to deal and how long did it take you to get good at achieving those deals?
Very, very good question, dude. Now, the way I got into the business is that it was 2007, fourth quarter, and I had my moving company. I told you guys, and I was making some money, dude. So at this time, I had, a couple $100K in my banking account. I had money. I was making a lot of money, dude. I started with $100. I was rich as fuck, right? Not that I'm like Bill Gates, but in my mind as a refugee, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if you guys went to my website, see where we come from. I was making a lot of fucking money. I had multiple cars, multiple ATVs, 6, 7 fucking motorcycles. I'm living life up. I have cancer of consumption. So the market crashed, and I knew that everybody's running this way. I knew I had to run this way. And what I was going to do is I was going to buy stocks. So I didn't know shit about stocks. My daddy doesn't have stocks. None of my parents have education. So I start reading about stocks. And I remember at that time I used to watch TV. Because I don't ever watch TV anymore. I used to watch that guy Kramer on CNN. Never watch the news ever again. Okay? I read his book, and I really quickly realized that I don't like stocks. Here's a couple of reasons, okay? Number one is that if the stock is worth $100, stock, there's no way in fuck that I can buy this at $70. There's no way, right? And I've always been a negotiator. Like, I would go on Craigslist, a car's worth $10K, I get that shit for $5K. And I've done that many times, right? And so I didn't want to buy this shit retail price. And then so that was one of the reasons I didn't like stocks. The other reason I didn't like stocks is because there's so many variables like the management, the people that work there, if their kids are dead, if their kids are alcoholics, so many different things that I couldn't control, that I can't manage those people. So I quickly realized that I can't buy the deal at a deep discount. I gotta buy what the herd buys. And I can't control the fucking people at the offices. So I decided, this is something that I can't control. And being a refugee and having, work hard for my fucking money without borrowing it, okay? I didn't want to just fucking let some other guy take control. So I said, fuck that shit. I'm going to educate myself, and I want to be in control of my own money. And that's what the problem is in America. Like, a lot of us make a lot of money, and we let a trust fund or a manager or 401k or all this other bullshit to control our money. We rather watch TV. We rather go to a sports game instead of educate our own mind. And we think Bob at Fidelity is going to take care of us. But Bob's making commission. Bob's making $25K. Bob's in debt with school. Bob don't know what the fuck to do with your fucking money, dude. If he did, he wouldn't be working at Fidelity, right? He wouldn't be working at consulting. So never take advice from motherfuckers that have JOBs, dude. You know what I'm saying? You want to be an entrepreneur, don't take advice from JOB people, right? Now, if the guy's has a business, and he's doing that job, that's a different story. But if the guy's a JOB like fucking Fidelity, motherfucker telling me how I should invest my money, he don't know, dude. He has no fucking idea. He just read a fucking book, right? I'm in the trenches. I make my fucking money through alchemy, through creative ideas. You think I'm gonna let that motherfucker control it? Fuck no. So I decided stocks is not what I wanted to do because I couldn't have control of it. So at that time, stocks were down and real estate was down. Alright, and so at this time, I'm making a lot of money and I don't want to own a house. I'm living in these expensive lofts where I'm spending $1,500. In Texas, that's a lot of money. An average one-bedroom apartment is $500. I'm paying $1,500, $1,700 for one-bedroom apartments that are loft style, that are, pretty nice. But I really realized that this is a great time to buy a house because real estate is fucking down, dude. The newspapers is down, the magazines is down, the taxi drivers is down, the Uber guys is down, the hairstylist is down, everybody in the mama is down. I knew this is the time to buy real estate. So at this time I have money, I could buy a house cash, but I don't want to use my cash, I want to invest it because I don't know what yet, right? But I know I want to invest it because this is time to invest. So I get my fucking tax return for my business. I've been in business at this time 8, 9 years. I take 7 years of tax returns. I take my bank statements. I have all this cash in it where I could buy a house for cash. And I'm just trying to buy a fucking modest house. I'm not trying to buy millions of dollars, which I can, but I'm not trying to do that, dude. I know that I could buy a $200,000 house right now on the MLS, which is, I didn't understand this other stuff, what I talked about earlier, for 150, 170, and I thought that was a great deal, dude, because I'm getting 30 grand, 40 grand below market. Great deal. But the problem was that I went to Bank A, Bank B, Bank C, Bank. All these motherfuckers didn't want to lend to me, dude. I couldn't understand it. I have excellent credit. I have all this fucking cash. And And these motherfuckers would tell me, well, you don't have any debt history. I said, no shit, dude, I don't believe in debt. I have cash money, everything, my business paid for, my cars paid for. I have all this money. I don't have any credit cards. My debt to income ratio is great, dude. I have no fucking debt, dude. I have this cash. I can put 20% down, go 50% down. I even can put 70%. No motherfucker would give me a loan, dude, right? So I'm like, what the fuck, dude? And I'm like so pissed off because I have this cash, and I'm the perfect guy to be these lenders take a risk on versus what they just lend to, which is what, subprime, which caused the melter, people that didn't have any money, where I'm on the other side, I have the money to pay for gas, I'm trying to borrow this money because I know I can use my cash to do investments. I don't know what yet, right? I don't think about real estate yet. But once I can't get a fucking loan, this is like the 20th, 30th bank I've gone to. I'm dressed up, I have all these paperwork to show them, I'm making my business making $1 million, I have all these businesses, these motherfuckers ain't hearing it, dude, and I'm like, what the fuck, dude, right? Then I remember hearing this commercial about how you could buy houses with no money, how you don't need a bank, and I'm like, no, this is fake, dude. This is a scam. This is an infomercial, right? But I was desperate, dude, because I knew there was a recession and I had a lump of sum of money and I knew this is a time to invest, but I didn't want to buy a house with it. You know what I'm saying? Rich Dad said, don't buy a house with your fucking money. And sure, it's a recession, I get it deep, but I don't want to buy a house. I want to buy income producing assets, right? But I wasn't thinking about getting rental properties because I'm living in a loft, right? I'm living in an apartment, right? And I'm paying all this money. I'm not thinking of it like that. I have businesses to make money. So, anyways, to make the story short, I don't even remember what book was. I decided to order it. I had all this fucking doubt. But something told me inside to go ahead and do it, dude. And so I bought the fucking book and I read it. And I did exactly what the book said, dude. I went and put up fucking signs. I did this. And the very first property that I bought was from my own home. It was in Grand Prairie. It was a 4-bedroom house with the pool. It was an A-type. So it was an A-type building, which means that it didn't need any fucking repairs. The guy actually had renovated left and right. And the situation was that the guy had 2 kids, and the mom was a school teacher. The guy worked for the state of Grand Prairie, and they didn't make that much money, and they were going through divorce, right? And at that time, they couldn't afford to pay this together. The wife was moved on with his mom, and the guy was only left there, and they were 2 or 3 months behind. I think 2 months. We're about to hit 3 months. So I told him about the subject too. I didn't know shit from Adam. I didn't know anything, dude. But I did know that, hey, I had confidence. I did know that I've done multiple businesses. So I just showed up, dude, right? And I give him the owner financing offer. And this is the thing I'm trying to tell you guys is that if you're not giving the fucking offer, you ain't getting the deal. So I give the guy the offer. Like everybody else, the guy said, no, I'm not interested. I said, okay. I was like, all right, right? So I went back home, right? But the thing that I knew is that I understand sales and follow-up, and I knew what I call my 6-6 for success. I knew I had to touch this guy 6 more times to continue to follow with him. So I instantly started firing off postcards, letters. And about 2 or 3 weeks later, homeboy called me up and says, you know what, Mike? I'm ready to do this shit, man. I went to his house. I built rapport with him. He declined my offer. I kept following up, which is normal, dude. When you go to a seller's offer, you're trying to buy the house 60 cents. You're trying to do owner financing. 99%, 90% of the time, they're going to say no. But that's normal, dude. It's normal. They're going to say no. We always say no. So I said, okay, no problem. I didn't burn the bridges. Follow. 3 weeks later, I don't remember exactly, he hit me up. They're ready to do it. Done deal, dude. I got my very first fucking house. Only paying like $2,000 or $3,000. That includes my closing costs, everything, dude, right? Nothing. If I would have gone the other way, I would have had to put 20% down. What is the other way? The traditional way. I was begging the bankers, please. And if they would accept my bleak, they would have charged me 20% down. I would have to pay all these junk fees like loan generation fee, all this junk fees. I would have to pay notary, I have to pay prepping fee, I have to pay fucking inspection fee, survey fee, title policy. I didn't even buy title policy, dude. I hired somebody that worked at a title company to do a title search. I looked at it. It was a cookie cutter property. This is like the first owner, I think, on the property, or second owner. I think it was the first one. The guy bought it new. And, I didn't need to buy. I saved myself thousands of dollars in title policy. I bought the first fucking house. And once I got it property subject to. It was so fucking easy. I closed on this deal like 3 or 4 days or 7 days. I owned the fucking property. They moved out. I had my moving company go move them, and I owned the fucking property. It was a beautiful property. It had a swimming pool in it. It had, man, it was updated, dude. And, man, I was blown the fuck away, dude. I was like, what the fuck, dude? I couldn't believe that somebody's just gonna let me take over the fucking payments, dude. I just couldn't believe it. Because my own mama wouldn't sign for me as a co-signer, right? No fucking bank would give me the fucking loan. So once this customer, you know, my very first customer, believed in me, I was like, thank you, God. Thank you. I really realized that lack, where I didn't have credit in a sense that I had great credit, but I didn't have credit because I never bought shit on credit. Or the lack that the market had crashed and the bank wouldn't lend because that time. All those disadvantages were actually a blessing from God saying, hey, nigga, this is a seed of greatness. Work this shit, work this shit. And once I worked this shit, I got my first deal, dude, I knew that book was not a liar anymore. I knew that people could buy houses with owner financing, and boom, I started buying houses left and right, owner financing. And I bought a couple of houses cash, but I didn't want to use my cash. Why should I use my cash when I could just take over somebody else's debt? You know, it doesn't make any sense, dude. I can just take over somebody else's debt. The debt is not associated with me. It's not under my company EIN number. It's not under my company or my personal social security. It doesn't make any sense, dude. This is the best way to buy property. Not everybody's willing to sell it, but I'm a master of marketing. I don't need everybody. I just need that one person, dude. That's one person that's going to help me make $100,000 in 6 to 7 years by holding that property. I just need that one. I don't need everybody, right? And so, but if you want to do, let's say, 50 properties a month, then you're probably not going to get owner financing like that. But if your goal is to, you know, ascertain 1 to 3 properties a month, you can do owner financing all day. If your goal is to get 3 properties a year, owner financing all day. But if your deal is to like buy a bunch of properties, right, really quick, then not everybody's willing to do owner financing, dude. Okay, so you got to know that. But in my 2 books where I talk about my no fluff negotiation and my terminator offer letter, these 2 things increase your likelihood to get owner financing. Especially if you use my seller phone script, because we ask specific questions that are what I call subconscious level, that we're asking them, do you want to do owner financing, without asking them. So if they say yes to that, then if you use my other 2 products, then the likelihood of you getting owner financing is extremely high, because the seller has already told you that they may be interested in doing that kind of stuff, okay? You're not going to force somebody like, man, do owner financing, I'm going to do some kind of magic pull or magic push to get that. It doesn't work like that, dude. Those guys are just selling you books. Any other questions?
We just have some last minute comments, last ones. Vic on YouTube says, man, more people should be watching this. GLS says, Mike, I like your teaching. You have a lot of experience. Kenneth Dumas on Facebook says, thanks for that advice. And then SAS for Life says, thanks for sharing your knowledge.
Thank you guys. And please, man, try not to get into debt, dude, because I've seen a lot of smart investors, smart doctors, smart lawyers. We've actually wholesaled some. We've got listings. We've done short sales. You know, when you dance with the debt and leverage and stuff, sometimes, majority of times, you get caught, dude. It's like an NBA. You could be a champ and you just get caught, dude. So it's better to just grow a little slowly. It's better to have the money that's your money, and don't have cancer consumption, because if you have cancer consumption, it doesn't matter if you make millions of dollars, you're going to need to sell people all the time. It's better to have freedom. It's better to hang out with your kids, with your family, than to work all the fucking time, if that makes any sense, guys. All right, guys, don't forget to get my first deal. Don't forget to get my VA systems. I guarantee if you get that VA system, it's not going to let you down, dude. I pour my heart into it. I over-delivered. I went the extra mile. I want to help you guys grow your business, so you guys can give me a positive feedback that, hey, this shit is working for you guys. Thank you so much, guys. See you later. Don't take no for an answer, and please share and please comment. Thanks, guys.